I want you to invite to exchange ideas about what does it mean to facilitate online learning on such questions. What specific activities and actions do you undertake as facilitator of online learning? You can also want to talk about how to motivate online learners, some ideas, creative solutions, something what you tried out already and it seems it's working. Yeah. Also, you can touch upon what are important competences. We already heard people saying, well, it seems like a new profession almost, and I need to learn things. So you can have a conversation about competences. How should a facilitator address challenges of online learning? Should we always be fully 100% responsible for all what happens online? Let's say we create a lot of inspiring activities, but not a lot inspiring activities are used, or maybe not everyone is using from the groups we work with. Or if you are thinking in a more creative way, what kind of animal online facilitator could be if you use a metaphor of an animal? Yeah. So any other relevant reflections about facilitating online learning? So these are our topics. I will invite people to take notes while somebody else is taking conversation. So if you are not maybe in the conversation, then you may add some points which you hear. So it's also a bit of active listening, focused listening for some period of time. So feel free to add anywhere any notes from what you take as an interesting conversation point. And how we will lead conversation. Now I forced on you gallery view the same as I see. So if you will turn the gallery view, you should follow my view in a way. Yeah. And then we're like in a fishbowl exercise, instead of chairs, I will invite to start with 4 volunteers who would start conversation, and you need to use in the reactions, if you have the latest version of Zoom, raise a hand that instantly will bring you to the beginning of the line. Yeah. So we have 4 places available, and these are the 4 people who are starting conversation about being working as online facilitator. And then if someone else wants to add a point, you raise a hand and then you get to the front. Yeah, that means somebody who is in conversation, that's your ticket out. Yeah, then you need to lower your hand and then you disappear in the crowd. Yeah, so let's try it out. If you don't have a latest version of Zoom and you cannot see hand near the reaction, it must be when you click on participants, and just below participants, that's where you can have a hand, if I'm not mistaken, with the older version of the Zoom. So now I would call first 4 volunteers to start conversation about online facilitation, and we will hold this conversation for about half an hour. If there will be a lot of things to say, even maybe further than half an hour, but that would be the timing I allocated at least for beginning. Yeah. So anyone who would like to join me in a conversation, so 4 people, and then I will lower my hand, making another space available. I call for people to start. Raise your hand, join me in conversation about facilitating online learning. Please, Arpi, if you can, I can also help it maybe.
Yeah, sorry, helping with technicalities, then how do we do this?
Yes.
So difficulties joining. So now.
Yes, good. So Arpi, if you see a reactions icon in the tools below your Zoom, yeah, and you click on reactions, if you have newest version, you should see the hand. Yeah. So if you click, you go up. Yeah. Antonio, for example, click the hand. He's joining conversation. So we'll have 4 people in the conversation. And if fifth person joins, that's the way out for somebody who's already in conversation. Yeah. So welcome, Antonio. Looking forward to hear what you have to say. So meanwhile, like, it's still call people to join conversation. Yeah. So raise a hand, join the conversation. Elena, yes, good. Anyone else? And we can start being 4 people.
I'm doing it just because Antonio is there.
Ah, good, good, good. Sometimes we join conversation because we like people, huh? That's all right. Anyone else to join our conversation? Yes, Yolana. Good. We have 4 people. As soon as I see someone joining, I will withdraw myself as the first one. So looking forward to hear what you want to talk about. Elena, Antonio, Yolana.
So maybe I was thinking that I would answer to the green question, is how to motivate online learners. I have the feeling that when it's online learning, we have to avoid these long speeches and when people is only listening, because there are so many things happening around and only the screen and the loudspeakers that we need to make more interactions. So I think that for motivation, we have to use small breaks, maybe from time to time, of course, maybe small energizers at the beginning, making it funny, a little bit different than what they are used to. Also having these rounds of people speaking, if it's not a super big group, but making people be part of the content, like what the girl in the video was, like what Anita was saying, also like making them share with themselves, facilitating more than teaching or lecturing. Yeah, I have the feeling that motivation is.
Yeah. But don't you feel, Antonio, that when we have a lot of small activities, we miss or we fragment learning a lot? Because that's my feeling. And I think when I'm starting to break or invite people to breakout rooms, do one small activity, it feels like we never have this common sharing moment, which is difficult. I agree, it's difficult to hold on online. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, Elena.
I think it depends what you are doing. If you know, like for instance, in this op crash, you know that in theory, all the participants are interested in what you are saying. So there should be no lack of attention, because we are here to learn something that we need in our daily work. With the youngsters, I think it's a bit more difficult to keep the attention up when there are these long speeches. They must be really involved in something, but I don't have a solution yet.
No, and thinking about challenges and how to motivate this, reading the non-verbal communication for me is, well, we spoke about it in the previous group, but reading non-verbal communication only with a camera. So insisting at the beginning to everyone how important it's to have a camera, to have a light that will let us see your face. This is one of these challenges that we need to address, because when it's residential, touching a little bit each other and feeling, touching, not always, well, I'm from Spain, so I'm very touchy person, but I mean, you understand what I mean. This non-verbal, paraverbal communication for me is also a big challenge that we need to address.
Okay, so if I can add something to it,
Please.
like when I'm working with people and motivate them to be involved, I try somehow to involve also the emotions. Get people and
Yolana, we have difficulties in hearing you because there are other sounds picked up on the way. Now maybe.
I'm totally alone here.
No, it was from someone else. Was the sounds coming up? That's why. Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes I'm working a lot with teachers, and they are always like struggling with how to motivate, especially young people, to be involved. So one of the tricks is to offer people in advance that they should share something connected with their emotions. For example, with young kids to share some story about, I don't know, their heroes or books, and also to show it as a tool, or sometimes also just to share a picture behind your screen, yeah, to play with the screen, that you can have pictures. Like now, Nereus has behind your screen, you have a, what is it? It's the beautiful view. So to play, for example, with some kind of views or favorite places which people like, or etc. So this can be, because then they are willing to share if they want to share something which they are connected with their emotions.
Yeah. I would also like to remind others, you can join the conversation anytime if you want. You raise hand with technology, or just let us know in a chat also, that we can make also this way if it's easier. So join the conversation. What's interesting for me, what I hear, and it's already from the starting of pandemics, I feel that often we talk about online learning or engagement in online learning, and some people refer to younger population, like younger people, and some they want to talk about adult learning, yeah. And that's where sometimes I think we cannot talk about both target groups the same, because there will be different needs, behaviors, expectations, and so on. But sometimes when we are in conversation about whether online learning works or not, we mix these two groups, and then we lose ourselves. That's my feeling, yeah. So that's what I wanted to add. Continue conversation, and I know that Arpi showed sign willing to join, so I'm stepping back, which means that anybody else, whenever you want to join, you will give a ticket for someone else in conversation to take a bit of step back. So Arpi, please join in. I cannot, on behalf of you, put the hand up, yeah, but we know you are in conversation.
Yeah, thanks. Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for this comment. I felt like, what are we talking about? Are we talking about adult groups and what are they learning about? And I just want to add that emotions, I would add also that connection between learners, how important this can vary quite a lot, depending on what type of learning we're talking about. And I've participated in online learning programs where it was totally self-paced, self-directed, and actually I had no connection to other learners, just on a comment level and reading each other's work. And it was still useful, still helped me a lot, but it was really relying on my motivation and engagement that I would like to apply what I learn online in my, I don't know, life reality. So I just wanted to add that maybe also we talk about this bringing the learning material, or helping me as a learner to contextualize what we talk about. So not just stay in abstract terms and talk about broad things, but if you help me change how I do things better, or I can do things that I couldn't do before, that needs that I need to think about my own practice in the learning field, whatever I'm learning. So if you connect me with other learners, maybe I connect with them a bit, but if we talk about our profession, for example, as adult learners, it can be super concrete and super useful. I don't know, I said a lot. So, some thoughts.
Maybe if you want, well, of course, you're still here, Arpi. Maybe if you want, I would suggest that we try to go to this blue question. Maybe it will make it easier for more people to interact about the animals. I was thinking, what kind of animal would be a facilitator? And I was thinking to myself that maybe an eagle, because when you have a screen with so many candidates here to choose which one you're going to play with, I don't know, I think maybe an eagle could be a good example of this online facilitator, because usually our activities are with many small faces where you cannot focus a lot in all of them. You need to be attentive to all the small changes, as I said, As you can see, I'm worried about this non-verbal, and so I would suggest an eagle. What do you think? What animal would it be? And for sure, I want to say that online learning for me helped a lot because I'm one of these trainers who cannot remember the names of participants. And here, oof, I don't need to worry anymore. So I need some way to keep training my memory. But going back to the animal, the eagle, I would say. What do you think, Elena or Joanna or Arpi?
For me, eagle, it's a bit too aggressive, I would say. I was thinking about a wolf, but it's also too aggressive. And then I came up with the idea of a dolphin because it's really clever. It's really cute and funny, and it can jump in and out all the time.
That's nice. That's nice.
Actually, it's beautiful. I am also in this sea area, and I have it like an octopus. I know that it's not included, but really, especially when I started to work as online trainer, I really had a feeling like that I need more hands to manage all tools which I have. So yeah, it's my metaphor.
Maybe somebody should be trying to draw this kind of eagle, dolphin, octopus animal, and maybe we end up with some kind of logo for a future competencies of online facilitators.
I would go for squirrel.
Squirrel.
Like
I would add the panda.
Ah.
Because I agree very much with the octopus on one side, because if it comes to digital tools, but I have the impression if it comes to the participants, also a panda is good. That's kind of being playful. Yeah, panda I think is adding the emotions to the things, and yeah, it's playful. Yeah, so I think it's bringing some other aspects to the game.
So it seems that we are creating Zoom, no, not Zoom, sorry, Zoo already. So
Mythology, animals, dolphin, octopus, panda, eagle.
What about others? What do you think? Join us, please.
It might be that people already want to have a ticket out, so you need to help them. All right. Don't disappear like now people disappear. Only if someone joins conversation. All right. Katya joined, so it means someone can actually leave. Only that I'm not seeing the. Let me check. Arpi, if because you don't use the raise hand, so that's where. But anyway, Katya, welcome.
Yeah, I think that about animal, maybe some kind of a spider or something that can follow many things happening at the same time. If we talk about many small windows being open at the same time. And maybe a little bit of like a mind reader in a way that since you don't have the access fully to nonverbal communication of participants, you need to try to understand, or at least ask that question from yourself or from participants directly, that at some point they don't use cameras. That is it because they don't want to be involved fully, or is it because they can't, or are they not sharing comments because they are not agreeing with what's happening, and or is it because they're shy, or what is the reason behind that?
And do you have any tips how to work on these questions? You don't know what people are.
Oh no, that's a question I'm asking because it's quite difficult. You need to be mindful of those things and like notice them and find ways to suggest maybe different kinds of activities when participants can share. Maybe for someone leaving a comment in forum is way too much, but adding a post-it note on a Padlet would be comfortable enough, or adding a reaction to Zoom meeting would be already enough, or Menti. So maybe involving multiple tools where participants can participate not just verbally by writing words or saying words like a talking head, but also just emojis, especially if we talk about younger participants. Maybe language skills are not there sometimes for things.
Can I join?
Please, Tomek, you are
I would
giving a
say-
ticket to someone.
Yeah, I would say for me, it slightly differs if it's about facilitating a live event like synchronous activity, or if it's facilitating an online course, more asynchronous. Still, for me, will be important to be able to create comfortable environments. That will be, let's say, the overarching principle here. Referring also to what you were saying before, this art of hosting and so on. And I find it personally much more difficult when it comes to a live event, the synchronous learning, where I need a lot of attention to all different little elements, operating the platform where everything happens, then operating the Menti, Padlet, everything else, having few tabs in the browser, and still able to speak to people in the way that it's engaging, you know, attractive and so on. When I watch the recording, I see my eyes jumping over the screen because I try to really catch everything. Then people starting to write something in chat and you don't know what's up there, but you still want to hold the space and make it comfortable that everybody feels good. That's challenging. It goes much easier, I would say, in asynchronous learning, but we're also holding a space and making it comfortable is super important in my opinion.
Welcome, Marta, to conversation.
I can say now, yes. So just I can continue with the animals. I'm sorry, I'm a bit late. So because for me, so I don't know if it's really what I could say right now, but I would also see myself sometimes as a facilitator, as a bee that goes from one place to another and checks if everything is okay and brings some triggers or some challenges or some inspiration or something to smaller groups, bigger groups. So in online settings, sometimes I feel like I'm really flying between the rooms and yeah, between some spaces. So to connect the different elements and to transport the nectar from. So it was just one. I really like also the one about the spider, so it made me think about the bee as well. So that's what I just wanted to add. And it requires energy, I think, and also online learning, it requires even more energy. But also what I've noticed that this energy, if you are energetic, it really flows in the group, like really you can transmit this energy through the screen to people. So but what I was just talking with, I recently started meditation, and my meditation teacher, she told me that yes, it's really, because she's been teaching meditation now online as well, and she said that yeah, it was also for her, like you feel like losing your energy somehow, even if it's really if you are passionate, but still you are giving energy. So it's very, very important to find for yourself as a facilitator somehow a moment or a way to recharge your energy as well, because otherwise you will have some consequences. So yeah, to find your own way to do it, but not to forget about it. It's very, very important.
Yeah, and Marta, if I may, I think your suggestion of a bee made me think of another very important part. Bees are always team working, and it's very much the hive, how everyone is cooperating. I think
also
online
very
facilitation
nice.
is even more important, the team of facilitators, because we are even so fragile. I mean, if my internet connection now breaks down and we are in the middle of a training, boom, I disappear. So it's crucial that we have a strong and well-connected and well-prepared team of facilitators, at least 2-3 people minimum, I would say. I was very comfortable in a team of 4, even if I had said that it was maybe on the limit, it was super comfortable, but we were able to look at everyone, to address all these chat, different boxes. And I like very much your example of the bee, because I think this teamwork in facilitating online events, online learning, is crucial for the success and for the quality. I mean, in the previous one, I was sometimes probably able to do a kind of acceptable training, even on my own with some assistance, maybe not the best, but online, totally impossible, I would say.
Yeah, I really appreciate this last point about teamwork in facilitate online learning, because before in our group we spoke about competencies like to be able to build a structure of your course, or to be flexible to use different tools, but yeah, I'm really happy to hear this main point of teamwork, because I think that to create and facilitate a course, online course, different kind of people can join the construction of online learning activity, and also yeah, to be able to see all the challenge of the online learning, and also to be able to change something ongoing with an overview that is constantly so working. And yeah, I really appreciate this point about teamwork.
I just want to say that the bee that you put on the Padlet seems a bit angry.
Where is the bee? I don't see it. No, it's not. Okay, nice. Not on my.
So maybe now that we draw attention to the Padlet, I thank you very much for the ones who joined conversation with hands up and points given. What I would invite you now for maybe 10 minutes, the last 10 minutes, visit the Padlet and choose different questions where you want to make a point and post it. Yeah, don't go for all. Maybe we'll select only one and that will be your contribution. Yeah. So whereas several things are available, for example, about motivation, or maybe what are important competencies to facilitate online learning, any other reflections. So I invite you to spend time, maybe 10 minutes on one question and add your contribution. We will organize these contributions in a more organized way. All right, thank you for contributions you are making. I would like to share screen to show how it's getting more colorful, rich, both content-wise, but also media. I think one of the things for sure to be explored is how to make the online learning experience also a kind of multimedia experience, where different formats, types of media are used as a source of learning, as inspiration,